Alright, what's going on, everybody? Today we're going to be doing something a bit different, something we haven't done in a long time, and that is a tier list video. I haven't done a anime games tier list video in a long time, in 2 years in fact, and somebody pointed that out, so I wanted to go ahead and do a updated video. I got about 7 or 8 games here that I'm going to be adding to this list. Apologies for a second, let me go ahead and turn off my phone. Okay, so I'm going to be updating this list, and there might be some games that I missed, and y'all can just let me know. There are certain games that I excluded because I'm only really focusing on games that are based off of anime properties or stuff that like it's anime. It's clearly anime inspired. So those are the games I'm gonna be focusing on for this video. So first thing I'm gonna do is go through this list just to kind of refresh anybody's memory that watched that video years ago, and then also if you haven't watched that video, then I can just then you'll be acclimated to it. So I'm gonna start from the bottom here. So starting from the bottom, we have Berserk, Band of the Hulk. We have Gundam versus New Gundam Berserk. I said New Gundam Berserker. That's what I'm about to say. A New Gundam Breaker. That is One Piece, Pirate Warriors 3, Jump Force, One Piece World Seeker, Black Clover, Quartet Knights, J Stars. What is it? J Stars Victory Versus, I believe was the name of the joint. Yeah, J Stars Victory Versus. Um, One Piece Burning Blood. This was Sword Art Online Lost Song, I believe. Hold on, let me go back up and scroll here. Apologies. Uh, Let me see. Yes, Sword Art Online Lost Song, because there's multiple Sword Art Online games. That's why I had to make sure. Saint Seiya. We have the Attack on Titan games. We have Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2. Actually, I should have said the tiers that they're on. So apologies, but I think y'all can kind of get where they are at, cause y'all can see them right here. So, um, we have Shinobi Striker. We have the Sora Online Fatal Bullet game and Super Dragon Ball Heroes. So that was all at C tier there, and then at the D tier was One Piece, Burning Blood, J Stars Victory Versus, and Black Clover. And then at the E tier, as you can see, we have Berserk, Gundam. We have those Gundam games, the One Piece World Seeker, One Piece Pirate Warriors, and then Jump Force. So that's all at the E tier. And then at the B tier, we have My Hero One's Justice, Fist of the North Star, Lost Paradise, Dragon Ball Universe, Digimon World. We have Naruto, Shippuden, Storm 4, uh, Digimon Hacker's Memory, and then okay, so Hacker's Memory and Naruto Storm 4. That's on the A tier, and then obviously at the B tier we have One's Justice 2, Lost Paradise, Fist of the North Star, Dragon Ball Universe, and then Digimon World, and then at the S tier we have Digimon Story Cyber Sleuth. This is the first one, and then Dragon Ball Fighters. So now with that out of the way, and apologies, I could have done that a lot smoother and a lot quicker. So apologies, because I don't want this video. I don't want this video to be too long. Knowing me, because I do ramble on a lot. So I will try to get through this as quick as I can, because I know that people got short attention spans. So let's go ahead and get through this. So first, we're gonna talk about the E tier. So at the E tier, let's go through our first game. So I got this open in Photoshop. So give me a second, because I will have to kind of. So what I'm gonna be doing is I have some notes that I'm gonna be referring to. So if you see me looking, if it looks like I'm looking at something, I'm just looking at my notes. And I also have to switch. I'm switching between my windows here. So give me a second, and then we'll go through the E tier. So okay, so our first new game is One Punch Man, a hero nobody knows. And actually, you know what? Apologies. Let's go from the other side here. So apologies. So you got spoiled a little bit there. You got spoiled. Um, Pirate Warriors 4. So Pirate Warriors 4 is going to be our first game. So let me go here. Okay, so I don't really have a lot to say about this. It's more Pirate Warriors. Y'all already know how I feel about Muso games. This game isn't on the list I'm about to mention here, but Persona 5 Strikers, go play that. That's a much better Muso game. It's not like a reskin. This Pirate Warriors 4 is a shallow, repetitive game. Garbage. Don't play it. Don't even worry about it. Like I said, I don't really have a lot to say about that. So the next one here, we have Sword Art Online, Alicization, Licorice. Man, this one right here. Let me get my notes. Okay, so this one right here. This was the biggest L I took last year when it came to me buying a game. That had to have been the biggest L I took. I bought this game over, I think, what was it? Was it Grand Blue Fantasy or something that came out last year? It was that and like I think Final Fantasy VII Remake. I bought this game over that. I know some of y'all are just shaking y'all heads right now. How did you pick Sword Art Online over Final Fantasy VII? Yeah, I don't know either. But so I bought this game based on the recommendations and the videos that a YouTuber named Havian. I know some of y'all might have heard of this dude. He was hyping this game up. I will never listen to that clown ever again, man. That game, I was mad, man. That game is terrible. That outdated PS2, PSP graphics, the gameplay sucked, and overall the design was the design was antiquated. Honestly, in my opinion, Hollow Fragment was way better than this game. And matter of fact, so I found a comment that I put on Globecue's his review. I put this on Globecue's review. I'm going to read a little bit of it here. If you told me this was a port of a PSP game, I would believe you. Everything about this game feels so outdated, and this has to be the slowest RPG I've played in years. Poorly designed both technically and gameplay design wise. I wish I could get a refund. So yeah, man, don't buy that game. And you know what's crazy? Cause I had to go back through the games that came out, right? Cause I was blanking on some of the games that came out, and this popped up, and I was like, wow, I remember this. I remember hating it. And then so last night before I went to bed, because I was talking to my friend beforehand, we were on PlayStation, and I was like, I'm gonna do this video. I'm gonna do this updated tier list. What comes up in my feed? They're doing a DLC for this game. I was like, yo, they're still doing DLC for this? So yeah, funny story, right? So the next thing we got here, well, you've already seen it. One Punch Man, a hero nobody knows. Now, I don't know if y'all remember this, but this game got nominated. And apologies if y'all can hear that in the background. I think somebody's like mowing their lawn and everything. So apologies for that. And let me just make sure I'm still recording here. Okay. So One Punch Man, nobody knows. A hero nobody knows. This game got nominated for best fighting game. I think it was like 2019. It was either 2019 or 2020. To the surprise of many people. I think that somebody at Bandai Namco, they had to have some dirt. They had to have some dirt on Jeff Keighley at the Game Awards. I'm like, yo, this game got nominated over. I think was My Hero out at the time. Was Grand Blue Fantasy out at the time? There could have been other games you could have nominated, but they nominated this, right? And here's all I can say about this. Like, it's basically Jump Force with a One Punch Man skin. Like, you can make your own character and everything, and I think it has, if I'm remembering correctly, it has a lobby system just like that. Visually, I'll say this though. Visually, it looks better. I like the UI. The UI looks nice. Like I said, it looks better. It looks way better than Jump Force. The Saitama mechanics where he can come in at the like last moment or whatever. That Saitama mechanic was an interesting way. It was a unique way of implementing him since he's overpowered. So yeah, that's pretty much all I gotta say about that. And with that, we're gonna move on to the D tier. Now, let me go ahead and switch. Get my notes ready. Switch to Photoshop. Give me 1 second here. And let me take a swig of water before, cause I'm talking a lot. Now this is gonna be short. The D tier. I only got one game. So this game, Genshin Impact. I'm about to piss a lot of people off, man. So here's the thing. Before I go on this game, man, here's the thing. I was rooting for this. When everybody was talking down on this game. Oh, this is a Breath of the Wild clone. You know, I was like, okay, first of all, Breath of the Wild took a lot from other games. It's not doing nothing else new that we haven't seen in games since 2011. But okay, just because it has like the same kind of, I guess you could say same kind of art style, you know, just because y'all see a field of grass and everything, oh, it's a Breath of the Wild clone, but whatever. This game, I was looking forward to it when I saw it, because you know, when I first saw it and I didn't know it was gonna be free to play and everything. The graphics look good. The presentation wise, it looked good, right? But like I said, the Breath of the Wild comparisons was very annoying, right? But I played the game. I tried it because everybody was hyping it. I played it for a few hours. I uninstalled it. I played it for a couple hours. I uninstalled it quickly. The gameplay is boring. Uh, the free to play structure. I'm like, listen, bro. These free to play games are nothing but but freaking cash grabs. They're okay. They're there. They're only there to basically find whales so that they can make a bunch of money. They can make a boatload of money. That's all it is. The free-to-play structure sucks. I think the game would have been way better. I would have rather have paid $60 for a better game. For a better game that's structured better than Genshin Impact, man. I think the free to play structure killed it. I think the exploration and everything in it. I just didn't like it. I didn't think it was good. I think the game's overrated. So there I said it. I know a lot of people gonna hit the dislike button on this, just off of me saying that alone. Um, but yeah, that's D tier, right? So let's move on to the C tier, right? Let me get my stuff together. And I believe the first game, let me see here. Okay, no. Our first game is this. Okay. I might piss some more people off. Before the end of this video, I'm going to piss a lot of people off. Dragon Ball Z Kakarot is our first game. Wait, hold on. Hold up. Am I... Okay, hold up. I think I might have missed something, did I? Hold on for 1 second. Hold up. Wait a minute. Am I missing? No. I think I might have messed up, y'all. Okay, so our first game, my bad. So y'all got a little preview there. Cold Vein. So Cold Vein at the C tier. Funny enough, this is another game that I totally forgot came out, and it's crazy because I looked at my my playtime for it a few minutes ago, and I put 75 hours into this game. I can't believe I did that. I put 75 hours into that, and the most I'll say about this, like, it's a competent Souls game in my opinion. Then again, a lot of people would probably say, don't take my opinion seriously, because I'm one of the few people on Earth. I'm one of the like 20 people on Earth maybe that actually likes Lord of the Fallen, and I actually don't like the other Souls games that are made from Software. I don't like Bloodborne. I played Demon Souls. I didn't really like it. I didn't play any of the Dark Souls games. So I guess you can kind of take my opinion with a grain of salt when it comes to this game, as far as like the Souls aspect of it. But I thought it was a competent Souls game. I'm sure I had some gripes with it that I can't really remember at the moment. But it had good character customization. I do remember that. I do remember that as a really big positive for this game. Great character and creature design. At the time, I thought the story was interesting, but in hindsight, it was forgettable. Don't ask me what the story was about. I can't tell you. The co-op implementation that sucked. I remember trying to play with my friend Dre Zero. Um, Dude, playing that game co-op, I don't know why they did it like that, but yeah, Code Vein. After my experience playing Code Vein, there's another game on this list that I was like, yo, I don't know about this game, and you'll hear about that game a little later, so let me see what the next one is, and hopefully I don't screw this up. Well, y'all already seen two of them, so let me see. Is it Dragon Ball? Yeah. So Dragon Ball Z Kakarot. About to piss people off, boy. Dragon Ball Z Kakarot. I was initially excited for this game, and y'all could go back. I think I still have that reaction video when they first put up the trailer and everything. I was excited for this. I'm a big fan of Legacy of Goku, Boo's Fury, all those games on the Game Boy Advance. I remember staying up playing Legacy of Goku at my friend's house when we were little. I was hoping this was gonna be a spiritual successor for Legacy of Goku. I think a lot of people thought that. The combat, as soon as they showed the combat, I think it was at E3, I think it was at Microsoft stage. Boy, I was disappointed. It's literally just Xenoverse. It's literally just the Xenoverse combat, except damage numbers now fly off of enemies. That's the best way I can put it. It's basically Xenoverse combat, but done by CyberConnect 2. And here's the thing, CyberConnect 2, with them working on this, at least the cutscenes were great. At least the graphics look good, right? What I think though, this game fails as a RPG in my opinion. The typical RPG elements, leveling up, increasing your stats and everything. It's kind of pointless. It's kind of pointless, man. And unfortunately, the story skips a lot of stuff. So there's also that. So moving on to the next one, let me go ahead and scroll and see if I got. Okay, so I think we got what, one more game? I think no, we got a few more. Um, so let's see what we got here. Nope, went to the wrong screen. Apologies. See, nope. Well, you got a preview on another one. Okay, so here we go. Demon Slayer, Hinokami Chronicles. Oh boy, I can feel a lot of people getting angry. Listen to me, man. So I did a review for this, right? So I don't want to really regurgitate a lot of stuff. Y'all can go watch that. I did a review recently. Essentially what this was Storm 5 with improved combat. Lackluster story campaign, free roam sections were boring. I don't care what nobody says. The design is outdated. Boss fights weren't very challenging or memorable. The Kyogai boss fight was the best one in my opinion. It was the most dynamic. A lot of the boss fights lacked that dynamic feeling to it. The graphics were excellent. I'll say that much. The lip syncing issue, the stiffness, and the characters in certain scenes that ruins what is otherwise great cutscenes. Is lacking in content. There's literally nothing to do after you beat the story mode besides playing online. And the online is missing features like tournament mode, endless mode, no lobbies, no spectator mode. And that roster is pitiful. I mean, I know we're getting demons later, but no demons at launch besides Nezuko. And Murata being included when, like, nobody, I don't think anybody was asking for him. And a lot of people forgot about him, I'm pretty sure. So yeah, that game overall, I think it's a better game. It's a better fighting game than Storm. It's like I said, it's improved combat there with the parrying, and the parrying feels a lot better. They got push blocking. What else? Well, like they got a lot of other improvements there. So y'all can look at my review if y'all want to hear more. Um, And then like I accidentally showed the other game here, so Kill a Kill F. Now this one you can make an argument that maybe this could be higher on the list based off of what I'm saying here. Better. So here's the thing: it's a better arena fighter than Storm, much like Demon Slayer. It has a more thoughtful combat system with multiple attack buttons. The hits feel very impactful. The counter system is implemented much better than in Storm, in my opinion. Uh, I love the pace of the game. I love the pace of the combat. It encourages players to be aggressive and fight to build meter. The meter management is a lot better here than Storm. The movement feels good. The homing dash is a lot less obnoxious here than in the other games, like Storm and Jump Force and all that bullcrap. However, I will say the dynamic camera might throw you off when trying to side or backstep. There's there's some shallowness to the combat, but they give you enough tools to explore different combo routes with each character. And the developers captured the look and feel of this of the show perfectly. While the environments aren't draw dropping, the presentation overall is spot on. At the start of the year, at the start of the year, my brother came in my room, and I was playing the game, and he saw the game, and he thought it was an anime I was watching. So that speaks volumes. The game is flashy. It's over the top. Has the same type of transitions from the show. The story mode is entertaining. Some of the fights offered some challenge, which I appreciate, while others felt unfair. The English dub, which is rare for games nowadays, uh, that was included, which was surprising to a lot of people. It had a small roster. I think like the negatives, like it has a small roster. There isn't much after the story mode. Like you can play online, and then there's a like a survival mode. I think they called it the covers challenge or whatever, and that's kind of a fun little distraction, but you're not gonna be playing that too much. I could be misremembering things, but I think if I remember correctly, the game forces you to play through some of the story first before you can access the other modes, which I thought was annoying. So overall, I guess you could say maybe this could be higher, but I think based off of the content, what they give you, based off of what's there, the small limited roster, it doesn't have the biggest budget you can tell. But I think this needs to be at the C tier. Though, like I said, you could probably make an argument it could be higher, right? Um, so now we're gonna get into the B tier, right? So let's go to the B tier. Um, so with this one, let's see. Let me scroll up. Let me scroll up. Just going through my notes. Hopefully, I get to the right one this time. I should have put these in order, so apologies. That's why I keep screwing up here. Let's see. Please be Fairy Tale. Yeah, okay. So Fairy Tale. This one right here, man. Let me. Okay, got my notes. Get there. Okay. So Fairy Tale. This was a decent turn-based RPG. When this was announced, I know some people were kind of they I don't want to say they were mad, but they were like, like why is it turn based? Why can't it be like action combat? More like I don't know, more like a Final Fantasy VII remake or something like that. More like Tales of Arise or something like that. But I'm glad that they did a turn based RPG. For one thing, I'm glad they did a RPG period and not a arena brawler or anything like that, because we've had a lot of those games. And one of the things that you've constantly heard of, if you've been on this channel long enough, you constantly heard me say that there needs to be diversity with these anime games. We always get arena brawlers, so I was happy that we got a RPG game, and it's a pretty fun RPG. Like I said, pretty decent RPG. I love the unison raids, which are these unique team attacks that certain characters would do together. Rebuilding the Fairy Tale Guild and climbing the ranks to be #1 guild is actually more fun and more rewarding than I expected it to be. When they were like going over those mechanics or whatever. Um, The story was good, but it does skip certain stuff. And the biggest gripe I have with this is really the expensive DLC. The DLC was way too overpriced, but it's I think it was Koei Tecmo that did this, and they're known for doing stuff like that. But like I said, yeah. Expensive DLC. The dungeon DLC was a very lazy effort. As far as like the presentation wise, you can tell it doesn't have the biggest budget. I didn't think the graphics were too bad. It's nothing too insane. Um, so the next thing on this list was a game that I bought just off the random. Let me see here. Is this nope? Well, you got a preview for the next one. Um, Grand Blue Fantasy Victory Versus. Is it Victory Versus? I'm getting it confused with J Stars. My bad. Grand Blue Fantasy Versus. So Grand Blue Fantasy Versus. I thought that this was a solid. I thought it was a solid, accessible fighting game. I played only the beta to this, but I'm just judging off of the gameplay and stuff that I played. I'd argue it's more accessible than Dragon Ball Fighters and Melty Blood, another game that we're gonna be talking about in the second here. Um, something that I do, something that I would commend Arc System Works for doing is adding a full blown RPG mode to it. I feel like they put more effort into this RPG mode than they did with Dragon Ball Fighters, that story mode. And from what I played of the beta, I enjoyed it. I think it's a pretty decent fighting game, but I don't think it's worth the price. Like, I don't think it's worth full price. The DLC is expensive. Like Grand Blue Fantasy, that's a big property, especially in Japan. So I guess that's why it's so expensive over here. Um, so the next game, you already know, cause I spoiled it by accident. Melty Blood. So Melty Blood, what's it? Type Lumina. I have no clue what Melty Blood is. I had no clue what this was. When I put up that poll, I was curious to see how many of y'all knew what this was. I learned about this off the random, so I decided to buy it to play for the channel a little bit. But I was like, yeah, I suck at this game, so I'm gonna just cover some of the other content for it. But yeah, solid, accessible fighting game. You can do an fighting game aficionados. Y'all know what this is. Reverse beat, where you can go from like heavy, medium to strong, and no, I said that wrong. Heavy, medium to light, or light, medium to heavy. It's a very accessible fighting game. Very fast paced. Um, the soundtrack is good. The sprite work is great. I love that you can customize the colors of your character. The roster could be bigger, but DLC is coming. They actually just announced that. I was gonna do a video on it, but I was like, yeah, I was too swamped with some other stuff I was doing. So, yeah, that's a decent game though, and I think that might be it for this part. I think it is. So yeah, we're gonna be moving on to the other tier, to what? The A tier. So, okay, so let's switch this. Hold on, did I go to the right thing? Let me see. Okay. Hold up. All right. All right. We're good. We're good. Scrolling up. Scrolling up. Okay. So we got only one game for this, right? And let me just make sure everything is correct here. Okay. So we only got one game here, and I know some of y'all might disagree with this. It's fine. My Hero 1's Justice 2. And my God, I screwed up with the thing right there. But yeah, My Hero 1's Justice 2. A tier. Here's the thing. Here's the thing, man. And this has been long. This has been a long time coming for me saying this, because I've said that I could talk about this game, but by the time I wanted to do a review and everything, the time had passed, right? But My Hero 1's Justice 2, currently the best arena brawler, and is an astonishing competitive fighter. For the most part, each character feels and plays differently from one another, and biking provides players with many tools to make your own combos. according to my PSN account, and I don't know how accurate this is, I have over 900. I think it said like 919 or something like that. Something crazy. I have over 900 hours in this game. A good chunk of that was spent in training mode, coming up with combos. Bro, I haven't done something like that in a long time in an arena fighter. I haven't spent this amount of time in an arena fighter since, I guess, if you want to count Clash and Ninja as an arena fighter, and then also Budokai Tenkaichi, like, it's been a long time coming since I put so much time and effort into a game like this because it's so good. Minor improvements make the game so much better. Sidestepping, I remember, and y'all can go back if y'all can find that video. If y'all can find that video, I did a video a while back. I did a video a while back with my friend discussing when this game was announced, and I think we like saw a trailer or whatever. And we were kind of joking about the fact that people were kind of hyping up like little things like sidestepping. But I'm like, nah, man. Like I went back to play My Hero One's Justice 1 earlier this year, and I'm like, oh my god, these little improvements, man. Y'all weren't kidding. Y'all weren't kidding. The sidestepping, they removed the ring outs, the dizziness state. They added dash canceling from any move. Unfortunately, there are still some things that they need to take out. This game is still too floaty, man. It's way too floaty. It's literally like everyone got hit with Ochako's her quirk, man. It's like everybody got hit with Ochako's quirk. I'm so used to it now, so I don't really think about it. But man, listen, the moon physics, the moon gravity, that's got to go in the next game. That's got to go. The wall combat is so out of place. It feels like they were looking at. It feels like they were looking at what Storm used to do with like Storm One and like the old Ultimate Ninja games, and was like, yeah, let's do that. No, take that crap out. It's out of place. They don't really be fighting on. They don't really be fighting on walls. In My Hero Academia, they don't fight on walls. This ain't Naruto, and it's messy. It's just not good. But the new additions like assist escapes, guard canceling, and the what you call it, the assist plus ultras and the team plus ultras, those options really enhance the combat by giving players just more options, more defensive options, more offensive options. Many characters from the last game were balanced, and their movesets were expanded. Like I said earlier, I didn't realize just how much they improved. Going back from One's Justice 1 to 2. So yeah, they definitely put in work. So the balance isn't perfect. Like I'll be honest with you, the balance isn't perfect. The subsequent patches have nerfed and buff some characters. Uh, the AI is freaking terrible. It's terrible and it's inconsistent. Sometimes they run around like a chicken with their head cut off. Sometimes they'll spam the yellow counterattack or be more aggressive, and then other times they just barely do anything. The game has a sizable roster. It launched with 40 characters. I guess 41 if you count Nomu. 6 DLC characters post launch. The story mode, that's one part of the game that they really need to improve on. The story mode is average at best. It adds a bunch of fights that never happened in the anime. This includes fights against random villains, which I totally didn't expect. And I'll give them credit for, giving them their own moveset. I love the comic book aesthetic for the visual novel sections. Unfortunately, there aren't a lot of cutscenes. That's another thing. They need to add more cutscenes. They really need to get away from the visual novel sections. Like I know I'm probably in the minority that likes the visual novel stuff because it kind of reminds me, like the whole aesthetic kind of reminds me of Ultimate Ninja, like the old Ultimate Ninja games on the PS2. But I mean, I get it. It probably should be more for lack of a better word, more cinematic. It needs more cutscenes. The final boss, the final boss fight was underwhelming. The series needs more boss fights akin to the Storm series and Demon Slayer. I will say that that's one thing that the Storm games and Demon Slayer has over this. Um, so the game has lots of content in the mission mode, but some of those missions can be very frustrating. I love the card system and the light RPG elements, where you can level up your character, make them stronger, and add different effects to help you complete the missions. And then, like Demon Slayer, this game is also missing some. It's missing some online features, like lobbies and tournament mode and spectator mode. Biking later added the intruder events, what do you call it? The raid battles. So they had like raid battles, score event, kill count event. Those events will trigger after you're done a match, and then you'll either have to fight a character who is a lot tougher than the normal CPU, or you'll have to complete objectives to get rewards. The soundtrack is great. The English dub patch, which was like that came out of freaking nowhere. Nobody expected that. It's definitely appreciated. The directing for the voice acting isn't as good as in the actual show in some instances. A ton of so the game also has a ton of customization options, a plethora of costumes and items to equip on your character. It's not as polished as Storm. The game launched with terrible frame rate dropping. Even in the menus, man, it was crazy. But subsequent patches has fixed that now. You don't really, from my experience, I haven't really felt any of that. Ever since they've been patching it. This game would be at the S tier. It would be higher if it wasn't for the numerous flaws that I mentioned. Just as a overall package, but I still believe it's a really, really, really good fighter. It's a really competitive, a really good competitively viable fighting game. I think the gameplay and the amount of content is enough to at least earn it a spot at the A tier. So we got one more game. So we got one more game. And that was a lot. I basically gave y'all a mini review right there. Um so the next one, the last one. And I think it's safe to say that this I would argue that this is pretty much going to be my game. It might end up being my game of the year. It's definitely anime game of the year, and that is Scarlet Nexus. Scarlet freaking Nexus, man. Listen, after I played, after experiencing Code Vein, and like before this game came out, and I was looking at the gameplay, I'm like, I don't know about this, man. I don't know about this, but we gonna get into it. Let me get a sip of water right quick, cause I've been talking a lot. Okay, let me get a little bit more, man, cause my mouth dry. Okay. So, Scarlet Nexus, man, I wasn't sure about this at first. I really wasn't. I'm like, I don't know. I don't know, after Code Vein. And then the fact that the game, just like Code Vein, because I think Code Vein kept getting delayed too. This game got delayed so many times. I think it got delayed twice, if I'm remembering correctly. But yeah, this is a fantastic hack and slash combat system. Like, bro, I'm gonna get into it, but listen, this game has creative and bizarre creature designs for the others. The game, like, man, the characters are good. This game has good characters. There's a lot of people out there that have been downplaying the characters in this game. Anybody who thinks that the characters in this game are generic, you haven't been. I bet you didn't watch all the Bond episodes. Watch all those Bond episodes. I know they're long, but they're surprisingly entertaining, at least in my opinion, and they serve to flesh the characters out while also strengthening the bonds, the relationship between the team. Um, the game has superb graphics. I thought the graphics was really good. The soundtrack's phenomenal. The English dub is solid in my opinion. I know some people didn't really gel what they didn't really like it, but I like the English dub. Um, I was surprised by the scope. I think the biggest surprise here was the scope of the story and just how it unfolds. It's very interesting with a lot of betrayals, like freaking espionage type things going on there. The story is very long. I think I put in total maybe like 40 something hours, maybe something like that. But the story is very long, and there are like two sides to it. You can pick. You can pick Kasane. You can pick Kasane or Yuito, and depending on who you pick, so there is some overlap to the stories, but there are certain things. So you really do kind of need to play both sides. I know some people will say you don't really need to play both sides because it's just little minor things. But I would say play both sides. I need to go ahead and play Yuito's. I played Kasane's side. I honestly think Kasane. So like I think Kasane is actually a better character in my opinion. But like my opinion might change once I play Yuito's side. But yeah, the combat. I'll say this about the combat. The combat can be a little overwhelming at first, but it gets better as more mechanics are introduced, and the more you upgrade your character, the more upgrades you unlock. Definitely put points into your SAS, into the SAS system, because the SAS system that allows you to that basically allows you to take advantage of your teammates' psionic abilities, and it's fantastic. Like you would think that you would be missing out on the fact that you can't play as your other teammates, but nah, man, you're not gonna miss it. You're not gonna miss it at all. The lock on camera, like the only issue I could really think of is that like the lock on camera can be a bit problematic during certain battles with a bunch of enemies, especially during the OSF squad battles. Those battles are probably kind of the there are some strong battles, but then like when you're taking on a whole team, it could be a little hectic. It could be a little hectic, a little chaotic. But overall, like I said, I think this might end up being my. It's definitely. I think it's definitely my anime game of the year. If I want to be that specific, and it might end up being my game of the year potentially. Because if I'm being honest with y'all, and I haven't really been vocal about other games, outside of anime games up here, but yeah, this year's kind of mid. I might be in a minority saying this, but this year might be a little mid for video games. So Scarlet Nexus might be my game of the year. Which, if you told me at the beginning of the year that Scarlet Nexus um was gonna be my game of the year, possibly, I would have called you crazy. But yeah, that's my game of the year. That's what I think. I think Scarlet Nexus is the best anime game that we've had in a while, man. Go pick that up. If you think I'm exaggerating about the combat, there's somebody, and if I can find his video, if I can find his channel, but I've seen people do some crazy stuff. Like if you've seen videos of people like doing crazy combos in Devil May Cry, I've seen a couple people do some crazy things with Yuito God, I can't even speak right now. With Yuito and Kasane, I've seen people do some crazy things in the game with those characters. So I definitely would recommend that. So here is the final tier list. I'm gonna go through it one more time, and then we're gonna get the heck up out of here. Okay, so going through the entire tier list, starting from the bottom. At the E tier, we got One Piece, World Seeker. We got Jump Force. We got One Piece, Pirate Warriors 3. We got New Gundam Breaker, Gundam Versus, Berserk, and the Rise. Was it? Oh, but Berserk and the Band of the Hulk. Apologies, Berserk and the Band of the Hulk. We got One Piece, Pirate Warriors 4. We got Sword Art Online, Alicization, Licorice. We have One Punch Man, A Hero Nobody Knows. We got One Piece, Burning Blood. J Stars, Victory Versus. Black Clover, Quartet Knights. We have Genshin Impact at the D tier. At the C tier, we have. Okay, so at the C tier, we have Super Dragon Ball Heroes. We have Sora Online, Fatal Bullet. we have Naruto Shippuden. Well, I said it wrong. Naruto to Boruto Shinobi Striker. Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2. We have Attack on Titan 2, Attack on Titan 1. We have Saint Seiya. We have Sword Art Online Lost Song. Code Vein. Dragon Ball Z Kakarot. Demon Slayer, the Hinokami Chronicles. Kill la Kill F. And that's all at C tier. At the B tier, we have One's Justice. We have My Hero One's Justice. We have Fist of the North Star. Lost Paradise. Dragon Ball Z Xenoverse. Digimon World. Fairy Tail. Grand Blue Fantasy Victory. I said it again. Grand Blue Fantasy Versus. And we have Melty Blood. Digimon. So and that's all at the B tier. At the A tier, we have Digimon Cyber Sleuth. We have Hacker's Memory. Digimon Cyber Sleuth Hacker's Memory. That's a freaking long title. Apologies. Naruto Storm 4. And then we got My Hero One's Justice 2. That's all at A tier. And then at the S tier, we have Digimon Story Cyber Sleuth. And then we have Dragon Ball Z Fighters. And then lastly, Scarlet Nexus. So that is my tier list up until this point. Let me know what y'all guys think about this in the comment section below. What games do you think should be moved? What games do you think should be higher? What should be lower? Whatever you think, comment below. Let me know. Thank you for sitting through all this. I know this video probably long. I said I was going to try to get through this. I wanted to get through this quickly. I tried, y'all. I tried. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. I'm out of here. Peace.